Well, good morning, everyone. I want to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to join us in celebrating such a great addition to the BullStreet District. Attainable housing is very important, especially in communities such like Columbia with diverse careers and income. Midtown at BullStreet was a 2021 SC Housing Low Income Housing Tax Credit Award winner. This community brings forth 18 townhome units and 72 apartment units and boasts amenities such as a playground, community center, exercise room, computer room, and outdoor gazebo. Beginning our grand opening celebration today, I would like to introduce President of Connolly Builders and Development, Kevin Connolly.
Thank you, Abby. Well, welcome everyone. This is a great day for Columbia, for the residents that will live here, and for Hughes Development and the BullStreet District. It's been a long time getting here. Development, they say it takes a lot to put these together, and that is an understatement. Just to give you a few little facts. Midtown at BullStreet is comprised of 90 units total. The large building that we're in here or around us here is 72 units. And then there's 18 townhomes on the peripheral over here. When we started thinking about this concept, we worked with Hughes Development, and we wanted to have a blend of urban and rural in kind of the same concept so that we didn't have just one big box. We wanted to really come up with something different. Our architect, Miller Player out of Greenville, I think T is here in the back, and they helped us come up with this design, and it's kind of a combination of a couple of developments we've built in the past. So it turned out beautifully, I think. It's got a nice neighborhood setting, and what a great environment. You're just steps to this beautiful ballpark here, and Bob and his team have done an outstanding job. They had an incredible vision when this community was put together. When I think I initially met with Bob, I don't know if Bob remembers this, but I initially met with Bob around 2010, 2011. And we started looking at this thing, and the timing just wasn't right then. But in 2021, I came back around and I said, hey, Bob, we need some affordable, attainable housing for people. And he's like, you know what, you're right. So we applaud Bob and his team and their vision of not only being able to put all of this wonderful stuff together, but also to recognize and realize that there's people in the community that want to work here, live here, and play here, and you have to have all housing types. So this is an absolute result of that. Right now, I'm proud to announce, as we stand, as of last Friday actually, we have, of the 90 units, we have 22 units occupied, another 35 pre-leased, so for a total of 57 that are pre-leased. But we've had over 500 applications. So that'll tell you the demand is here, right? We do, with our management partner, Intermark Management, they do an outstanding job of screening our tenants, making sure that they're not only income qualified, but they've got good rental history, and that they're great tenants, because good tenants want to live next door to other good tenants. With that, I want to see if Mayor Daniel Rickeman will come up and say a few words for us.
Good morning, everyone. It's a great day as we stand here in the BullStreet District. Exciting that we're here celebrating this opening. I know we joke a little bit. This is probably the longest project that Kevin's ever done to get done, but we're excited it's here because I think his point, the attainable piece, is so important for us in this community. You heard over 500 applications. We know we need 16,000 units over the next decade, and here we are one step at a time addressing those. And I think it's important when you think about 90 units here that are attainable and affordable, allow people to be part of our downtown. And you think about from here, you're a block or two max from Gather. You got Coastal Pizza coming in right behind it. You got the ballpark here. You got our park right across the street. You got to have the new healthcare campus being built, our medical school, all of it. You're in the middle of the heart right here, which means anybody in Columbia can have an opportunity to be part of this great redevelopment here at the BullStreet District. So we're very excited. We're thankful for the Hughes' investment. We're thank you for you pursuing it, not walking away, even though it took 10 years to come back. But you know, I laugh about that, but at the same time, it reminds me of what Joe Riley used to say. Joe Riley made a comment. He said, "I'd rather wait 10 years to get it right than 100 years to unwind it." So patience is good. Now the next one, we got to move a little faster. We will, but we look forward to continuing to support projects like this. City was able to participate and help lower costs and everything, which is about $500,000 worth of savings. And obviously we'll continue to help try to put that. Congratulations on the LIHTC project of the year. I think that shows your commitment, but also the commitment to this community. So thank you.
Thank you, man. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, and I think when I started and met with Bob the first time I was 18. But no, I'm just kidding. It did take a long time. I invite you, we set up a slideshow inside with some before and after pictures. So if you really want to see some of the challenges that both of our teams encountered while we were trying to develop the property, it's probably worth your while to take a look at those before and after pictures. Thank you so much, Mayor, for your kind words. The City of Columbia participated in this development with some reduction in fees and some other contributions. So it always takes a partnership. That's what these properties are all about, is a public-private partnership. And without all teams working together, couldn't have been done. Another partner that we had on this was Department of Mental Health, Michelle Murph. The original property here, of course, was property of Department of Mental Health. So, yeah, I think it's been interesting to kind of see things evolve as they have, and it's become such a beautiful thing. One of our other partners is a permanent lender. It's a consortium out of North Carolina. We've actually been doing business with them since 2009. I think their name was something else then. And I'm not sure I can remember which one it was. But it's a consortium of banks. And, you would think that on something like this, it'd be very easy to go out and get financing. It's really not, because by the time you layer all the different sources in, there's not really much of a permanent mortgage that's there. And so the appetite's not really high for your conventional banks. So they work and do a participation of a lot of banks for the CRA credits, and it works for all parties. So with that, David Bennett, would you like to come and say a few words for us?
Thank you, Kevin. Good morning, everybody. So again, my name's David Bennett. I'm president of Centric Community Capital out of Raleigh, North Carolina. And as Kevin mentioned, we have a very narrow focus in just doing the long-term permanent financing for properties like these. We financed almost 500 in total in our 35-year history. And South Carolina is an important state for us. We are actually just recently closed our 100th loan in the state. So we're proud to be here and proud to work with partners like Kevin. I feel a little guilty among the financing partners standing up here first, because we're kind of the last dollars in. So That just means I get to use all the catchy phrases and they can say, yeah, what he said. We come in early in the deal. There hasn't been a shovel in the ground. As Kevin is talking with his construction lender and his equity partner, and we kind of have a flurry of activity and we look at some numbers and we agree to provide the permanent financing when the property's done. And then we kind of sit back for a couple of years. There's not much we need to do while Gary and Rob and Kevin and all the other partners are really doing the heavy lifting. And then we come in at the very end when everything's done and the property's stabilized, and we dust off those spreadsheets, check a few boxes, and walk away with all the glory in the long-term relationship and the financing, which is not a bad deal. But what I want to say is to just kind of echo what Kevin and the mayor said. We see in that role how challenging these projects are. There's a lot of work and a lot of partnership to go into bringing these up out of the ground, but there aren't too many days better than a ribbon cutting grand opening when you can see beyond the emails, beyond the Zoom calls, beyond all the spreadsheets, beyond all the headaches to get to this point, to see the impact that a building like this can have on the community and more importantly on the lives of the people that move in. So this is an exciting, exciting day. The analogy that you often hear about affordable housing finance is it's kind of like lasagna. There's a whole lot of layers and it can get kind of messy sometimes, but the end product is pretty good. And we're just honored to be one of those layers. And Kevin, thanks so much for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, I mentioned Bob's team earlier, but Chandler Cox, where is Chandler? Oh, sitting in the back. Chandler worked with us from the beginning, and she really kind of helped us navigate through, some of the things because this is a subset of Columbia. They have their own PUD district and everything else. So there's a lot of things we had to work through. So Chandler, thank you, and Robert, wherever you are, Robert's sitting over there. Thank you very much for everything you guys have done as well. We talked about partnerships, and that's what you're going to hear me say over and over and over again is partnerships, because that's what makes these developments work. We cannot do it alone. These are largely financed with federal and state tax credits. And those tax credits aren't any good unless we have someone to buy them. So when the investors, as a limited partner, steps into the deal, they buy the credits. We still manage everything from a financial standpoint. They step in as a passive investor, but we have worked with Raymond James Financial out of Tampa, Florida, ever since 2003. So you see how long these partnerships have been around, and we could not have done it without partnerships like that. So, Gary, you want to come up and say a few words? Or were you putting Carolyn up to that thing?
I'm going to do it. Well, appreciate it, Kevin. Again, I'm Gary Robinson with Raymond James Financial, and have worked with Kevin and his team for a very long time. When Carolyn Bromage and I, who's with me, we pulled in today, I was kind of thinking, this is the first time I've been on the site since it's been finished, and it I just remembered this book from the 90s. It was Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Maybe you've read it. But he had one of the things in there that said, begin with the end in mind. That was kind of one of the principles. And I kind of feel like when I'm involved in this, we're involved in the financing, we're kind of very active up front. And honestly, we're seeing a rendering of what this is going to look like. And then some stuff happens in between, and then we show up here for the grand opening. But the reality is there's hundreds, if not thousands, of decisions that have to be made by Kevin and his team, which are honestly probably the best partners that we have in the country. I mean, we do a lot of these all over the country, and they are great partners. This one was very challenging for them, but never called me with a problem, just took care of it, right? And those are probably the best partners that you could possibly have. Affordable housing is, you would think that with the affordable housing crisis that we have across the country right now, that it'd be kind of a easy thing, it would be easier, but that is the complete opposite. affordable housing is probably twice as difficult to get built than market rate housing, and Kevin and his team are probably the best at what they do. So this is great. Congratulations on this. We're excited to be a partner for at least the next 15, 20 years on this, and this is a great testament to what you're doing, so appreciate it.
Thank you, Gary. Hopefully when you get back to Tampa, the weather's great down there. So you're getting a lot of rain down there lately. Another one of our partners is Truist Bank. Truist Bank does the construction lending for us. We first started off, as most people know, Truist hasn't been around that long. We started with BB&T that became Truist in 2009. So you can see the long history of relationships that we've had with all of these partners. And here today is Rob Wilkinson, Senior Vice President of Truist.
Thank you, Kevin. All right. Well, I am the new guy as far as the financing stack, even though we come in first there. But my name is Rob Wilkinson again, Relationship Manager for Truist. I actually work for Truist Community Capital, which is affordable business there, covering South Carolina. Great state of South Carolina. Most of my career I've spent in North Carolina covering. So this is new territory for me. So appreciate coming to Columbia, a very welcoming town. So appreciate that. I want to thank Connolly Development for their partnership and having us all here today. Quality, affordable housing is so important to our communities. Midtown at Bull, perfect example of how to transform a community with a quality project. You really have to kind of see it in person to understand the scope and scale, and then of course the location. Very, very nice. Today's groundbreaking is a really good reminder about opportunities that come along when the public and private partnerships work with excellent developers. That's how affordable housing is created. It takes a lot of work, and perfect example of that work all coming together. Connolly team, and I've been working with these guys for a short period of time, but I've gotten the opportunity to work with others, and their top tier quality is top notch is all I'll say. I think someone said you don't ever hear about the problems because they're dealing with them in advance. Bill, great job there. So we appreciate that. As far as Truist teammates, Kristen McSweeney and Sam Boss have been heavily involved working with this relationship. So wanted to make sure I gave them some credit there because they've done a lot of the heavy lifting, especially at the beginning of this project because I've just come in recently. And as far as Truist, so how were we involved in this project? I mentioned we were the construction lender. Truist, our purpose is to inspire and build better communities and lives. And there's no better way to do that and prove it with action than investing in affordable housing in cities like Columbia and the state of South Carolina. As far as specifics around our role in Midtown at Bull, we provided $19 million in construction finance, and additionally, we've done about $66 million, a little over $66 million in construction projects across the state of South Carolina since 2023. Since we started our platform, and this includes SunTrust and BB&T and now Truist, we've actually invested in 118 projects in South Carolina, resulting in 7,380 affordable units. So we appreciate being here again today. Thank you. Congratulations to everybody on a very successful project, and look forward to seeing residents thrive in this community. Thank y'all.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't mention my staff that are here because they are definitely the backbone of my organization, and they all work very hard. Bill Chandler, my development director, is here with us. Laura Nicholson, development coordinator, James Norman, Abby Goodlett, Field Goodlett. So I think I got everybody that's here. We got to get quite a few of them here today because this is close to our home office. We've built as far north as Reston, Virginia, all the way to Savannah, Georgia, so, and everything in between. So it's nice when we have one close that they can attend. You heard me talk a lot about Bob Hughes and his team, and I wanted to give Bob a minute. I could sit here and tell you about all the things, some of the things have already been mentioned, but it seems like once a month at least, we're hearing about something new that's coming to the BullStreet District. And I feel fortunate that we were on the front end of that. But so many things, you know, the baseball stadium, the MUSC, and all the gather spot that they're working on now. I think it's just a fantastic, vibrant community. So Bob, if you don't mind, come up and say a few words for us.
Somebody already said when you go late in this thing, everybody's already said all the good stuff about the project. It makes me feel really good to sit there and hear all that good stuff. I mean, we showed up here 18 years ago. I guess 17 years ago this December, we first set foot here. So these things sometimes do take time, but we had a vision. We had great partners in the city. I mean, you talk partners and trust. I mean, Reverend McDowell and I were talking about trust earlier. The city trusted us to do this. We said this needs to be a reflection of a real community. It needs to have attainable housing. It needs to have fine housing. It needs to have restaurants and shopping and walking, and everything you want in a community ought to be inside this boundary. And that's sort of where I got off, and the young folks on our team took over. And they executed it, and they're executing and continuing to execute. And you mentioned good things being announced. I was pushing for 2 more on the way down here. So things have gone great. It's thanks. I mean, I look at Gregory Tucker back there. Gregory, you spent almost as much time here at BullStreet as I have. But it's a great experience. It's been a great partnership with the town. It's a great partnership with our development friends, and the whole Connolly team has been great. And it wasn't easy. But hey, you don't know what's underground here. And we certainly found some things we didn't know were underground. Once I got Chandler to crawl in a little tiny brick tunnel we found. I wasn't going in there. But anyway, we thank all of you for your roles in doing this. It's not hard, but it's worth doing. We can all sit back now, and you know it's a success when everybody said, well, that wasn't that hard. Everybody could have done that. So thank you all for making it possible for us.
I didn't know you got Chandler to get in that tunnel. That was impressive. So I did not go in any order of importance because all these team players and all the partnerships are important, but none of this would be possible without the state and federal tax credits. You save tax credits and people get this glazed over look, you know, and I'm like, oh boy, I got to explain this again. But it is a complex, very difficult business. It's a very difficult job, and they've got 100 other people, 100 other developers like me they have to watch over. So they really have a tough job. But today, I think from SE Housing, I see Commissioner Fleshman here, and also let's see, we got Kim Welburn, Clayton. So I know I'm missing somebody. So, but SC Housing does a fantastic job of administering the federal credits. They're conduit where the federal credits come into our state, and they also administer the newly, I say newly, it's been several years now, but the state tax credit that we fought for years to get, and it's a challenge. I mean, every time something new comes up, they have to figure out a way to administer it. So. They have to come up with the rules, and the rules change every year. I've had municipalities ask me time and time again, hey, how do I get attainable housing or affordable housing in my community? I'm like, well, it's like baking a cake. There's a lot of ingredients, right? So we just have to see if we can get the ingredients to line up. But I think today Clayton Ingram with SE Housing is going to be their spokesperson. Clayton?
Thanks. Thank you, everyone. Greetings from SC Housing. A lot of our folks who wanted to be here couldn't be here today, Alpha, at one of our national conventions. But we do have a lot of people from SC Housing here. Please see them, introduce yourselves. If you've never seen the tax credit process, it's only one layer of the financing, but it's an important layer. It's sort of the thing that brings everything else together. And that is a formidable process in itself. I sometimes think the building might be the simpler of the two processes. When you see these applications come in, they're all good. So when you're awarded one, you're the best of the best. And I mean that. It comes down to sometimes just a matter of even a lottery to pick who's going to get them because they're all so high scoring. But that's what builds it. And today is an auspicious day. I don't get to say the word auspicious that often, and I like it. So I thought I'd use it today to say that this is an auspicious day. I get to see a lot of these around the state, and they're all very nice now. But this one just sort of hits differently. And I think that's because of where it is and how it was created, the intention of it. Because this is in the middle of Columbia. This is in our city neighborhoods. We've got Cottontown right next door, where I live, Earlwood, just a few blocks over. We've got 5 Points not too far away. And this is the latest thread that's going to be woven into our beautiful historic city. So I really appreciate that. I had the privilege of meeting Dr. Raj Chetty not long ago in Greenville. He's a Harvard economist, studies the social determinants of economic mobility, among other things, which is a great way to say, how do we move people out of poverty and into a more prosperous life? And it's not always the things you think. It's not always education. It's not always availability of jobs. They found that one of the most critical things to moving people out of poverty for young people is to be exposed to other parts of life, to be exposed to people who are successful, to be exposed to other possibilities in their lives. And that's what this is going to do. This is going to bring the young people who are here into the city, and they'll be mingling with people from all strata of society. They'll see entertainment opportunities, business opportunities. We've got congressional offices located here. We've got some of our largest employer offices here. We've got the university here. This is really a microcosm of Columbia and of South Carolina in many ways. And it's here in the middle of the city. And as a resident of the city, I welcome you and thank you for the work you're doing, and looking forward to having this fully rented and underway. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you.
One thing I want to mention that I had not planned on mentioning, but I mentioned that the federal and the state tax credits are vital in making these communities work. But I also want to mention that the state tax credit actually has a sunset, I believe, in 2030. So we were doing these developments prior to the state tax credit, but there's been so much more housing that has been built because that is another source that helps stretch those federal dollars. It's almost like matching funds, if you will. And I can't tell you the billions of dollars in, additional growth and expansion and jobs that it has brought to our state. So anything you can do to help us, relay that message to our legislators that we need to keep that state tax credit around, to keep doing things like this, to help revitalize our communities. You know, one of the things we're doing now is we're using abandoned building credits, textile mill credits, historic credits. We've used them all. Anything we can do to find a tool to try and make that cake bake a little bit better and make it work, you know, so that people actually get a shot at housing, you know, safe, decent housing. It's amazing to me. I've gone all over this state in some of the smallest, you know, areas you can imagine, and I see some of the deplorable conditions that people are living in, and it's sad. So we really, you know, it takes all these folks around you to make that happen, but the more emphasis we put on that state credit to make sure that sticks around, the better off we'll all be. So with that, I know everybody's probably getting hungry. We got a real treat for you. We're kind of moving into a different little avenue. I'll give you a little hint, but it's a restaurant, and our head chef is here today and has prepared the meal for you. So he was executive chef for the governor, and he's owned many restaurants on his own. I think the mayor knows him well, so I think you'll enjoy it today. So I want to introduce a friend of mine to do the blessing of our meal, Pastor Ed McDowell. Now, I didn't meet Ed through the City of Columbia. He's a City of Columbia council member, but I didn't meet Ed on the job, so to speak. I go to my church in Lexington, and go in and I sit down one Sunday morning, expecting to see our normal pastor up there, and here's this charismatic guy standing up front and delivered the most powerful message I think I've ever heard, and I was like, wow, that is incredible. So I've been in his fan club ever since then. So Pastor Ed, if you don't mind, come say grace for us.
Just before I say grace, just want to say a word, just one word. I want to acknowledge our mayor, and of course our city manager is also with us today. What an exciting time it is in the BullStreet District to have collaborative partnering together. Kevin, thank you. Brother Hughes, thank you. Several years ago, we looked at this part of our city and said, what are we going to do? You made that happen. You made that happen. And that's why it's good to have a blessing of a meal, to know that things continually work together. Collaborative partnership, and making sure that the lives of people are blessed. Let us bow our heads. For this day, and for all of the possibilities you've given to us, Creator, we simply ask that what has taken place in this part of our city, the BullStreet Midtown District, that you might continue to bless this building, this place. For those who made it happen, Kevin Connolly, Hughes Development, partnering together, collaborating, understanding the needs of people. Thank you. Thank you for that vision. Thank you for that continued vision, that we might stand tall as men and women of God, knowing full well what is our task. Bless this food that we eat. Let it be used for the nourishment of our bodies, and yet for your sake. Amen.
Amen. Well, you know, I got ahead of myself. I had this great opening phrase that I was going to say, BullStreet, the BullStreet area, BullStreet community, was once someplace that really not many people or anyone wanted to come. It is now a place that everybody, almost everybody, wants to come. So So I think, what a transformation, what a testament. I mean, that is huge. As I said a minute ago, you can take a look at the slideshow inside. You can kind of see the before and after pictures of this particular site. And we have a couple of units that we have available open for you to go and take a look at the units that aren't occupied yet. I think we have a townhome and an interior unit. So y'all please make yourself at home. Everything, go right through the doors there. We'll enjoy a meal together, and you can look at the slideshow and maybe tour a unit. But thank you all so very much for coming.